Yes, and welcome back to the Ash Williams Show. My name is Ash Williams, and I am fired up. How the fuck are you? Boom. Tommy Emmanuel. Yes, he's still alive, and he's playing this introduction for you from isolation. His wife has locked him up, but he can still play guitar. Thank you very much, Tommy. Of course, he was the teacher of Nathan Cavalieri, so I think, Tommy, you've got some blood on your hands there as to why Nathan didn't quite make it, but nonetheless, thank you for playing our introduction. Love that. We got a big show, folks. Straight off the bat, we had a cull last night on Instagram. It was a clean cull. There was no jerk involved. I want to give a shout out. Shout out. Free shout out to Angus, the cull master. He's back. He's back, and he's back in a big way. He had a wonderful mask on. And if you want to watch that, go to Ash Williams Show on Instagram. We culled 15 people, and they have 24 hours to make some noise or they'll be gone. Now, some housekeeping. Last week, I mentioned the single ladies dance video that you know what? I don't know if I've ever done this before. I'm going to throw to myself in the previous episode. And I've actually got another media company trying to buy it off me because I want 300. Even though Hughesy offered 450, I want 300 because then I get the news article too. So I'll give you an update on that. Okay, there you go. Now, live deal on the table, all right? Now, I'd actually sold the video to Daily Mail, and it was for $250. And then I got a call from Dave Hughes, who was furious that I did the deal behind his back. And then I was asked to go on their radio show, and this happened.
I believed, Ash, once the 450 was, we'd press go with a 450, that was going to be the deal.
You never press go. I texted you all night on Wednesday night. I said 450, you have a deal, nothing back. Radio silence, 48 hours. Listen, mate, I've been out in the cold. I'm shivering. I did a deal today. And Ash, I can't tell you who is, but it's sold.
Wouldn't you come to me first, Ash? Why would you do a deal behind my back when you knew we wanted that video?
Cash is cash. I thought you were disinterested. You know, I mean, how many times do I have to message you? I was 4 in the hole.
But you know what? What annoys me, Ed, is the fact that he didn't come even tell us that he'd done the deal. We heard it, didn't we?
Yes, we did hear it because we received a strange phone call today.
Yes.
Who from?
Well, from Sally Prescott. Sally, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Where are you from?
Hi, guys. I'm from Daily Mail.
Okay. So we get a phone call. Well, Sasha French, our producer, gets a phone call from Sally. Hi, Sally, from the Daily Mail. Sally, you're telling us that you're about to be in possession of a video of Hughesy dancing, but you were why were you calling Sasha?
I just wanted to touch base with all parties because we've actually had Ash Williams trying to make money from a video that he claims that Hughesy and you, Ed, are in a video doing a single ladies dance from about 10 years ago.
Right, yeah. Which, yes.
Well, that is true.
That is true. Well, that is true. We're in it, but...
And I just really wanted to touch base because it was, it was a really awkward chat with Ash, if I'm honest, and I just wanted to make sure that, he actually knew you and wasn't making it up.
I feel like saying he doesn't know us after this, honestly.
You've led the witness there. We had a wonderful chat today, Sally. How dare you? And you know what? If you don't want the video, I'll sell the video to Hughesy and Ed. Whatever.
No, you won't.
Hang on. What do you mean, no, you won't?
I don't know if I even want this video anymore.
Well, Sally, do you still want the video?
We'd love the video. As I
All
said,
right. Well, hang on. So Sally's so that's still live, is it? But
how much was it sold
how much,
for?
Sally?
Well, it's $250.
No, that's confidential. No,
giving
Sally,
you
you've
for?
actually broken the law
Ash.
there. No, that's
Ash,
confidential.
cost yourself
Sally's broken the law.
$200.
Sally has broken the law.
$250?
That's illegal.
Why did you
Oh.
That's illegal.
God, you've sold us all short.
Oh my God.
Look,
I'm in that video.
Sally rang
I'm
us
in that video.
wanting to know whether you were even the real deal. She didn't even think you're the full quid, to be honest, Sally. Let's be honest. Is Sally still there?
I think she's given up.
Is she still there?
I'm
My
here,
people-
guys. Sorry. I was just taken back by that. I thought we all agreed on that, and
All right.
that was the final price, and we were plugging you in our Daily Mail article, Ash. I thought it was
What do you
all
mean
fine.
article?
What are you?
What article?
You would? Did you
well, I'll
try
tell
to
you
get?
right now. Yeah,
What?
it better be a good article.
What a...
And I'm furious, Sally, that you said it was an awkward conversation. I
Oh,
was
my.
actually thinking, I thought there was a vibe this afternoon. And just get the video out. I mean, Husey and Ed, they need the ratings. They need the clicks. I want to help the guys out. Come on, single ladies.
Oh,
All right,
We want
all right.
this.
Okay, all right. Stop arguing, you two.
what?
Because, Sally,
Yes,
who are you really?
I'm Sally Prescott
No,
from Daily
it's
Mail.
okay.
Come
The
on,
jig's up.
Sally.
Sally, who are you really?
Tell Ash who you really are.
I'm a friend of the show, and I work with Husey and Ed.
She...
Okay. Well,
And guess
yeah,
what, mate?
no, fair play.
Guess
Fair
what? We've
play.
got the video now. We haven't given you a cent.
So hang on. The saddest thing about this, I was expecting a Daily Mail article tomorrow. There better be a Daily Mail article tomorrow. Daily Mail, if you're listening.
The irony is there probably will be.
Yeah, but it's going to be. It's going to be great.
But we're not
be
paid
great.
for the video.
Oh, come on.
No.
Come
No,
on.
Husey,
you know what?
Husey.
Come on.
What?
Pay for the video.
I'm not
come
paying for the
on.
video.
No, come on.
You hang around here, Ash, and we're going to play some of the interview you did with Sally Prescott when we come back,
No,
okay?
this is not good.
What did you sell it for $250 on its own, Ash, or was the puff piece a vital part of you giving the video away?
Oh, mate, it was all for the puff piece.
Yeah, and can I say fair play too? Because our producer Sasha French threw that in at the last minute, and I was like, "Yeah, that's a good one. That's a
Oh, mate,
good
$250 is nothing. I was there for the puff.
one." Okay,
Come on.
so we hear some of the. Let's hear
So
some.
we secretly recorded the interview you did with who you thought was the Daily Mail reporter, Kelly Prescott, was actually
No.
Kiri, who works here at the
Yeah.
Hit Network with
No.
us.
Yes.
So who did a great job. She's not generally an actor, but
She's
she's
great.
smashed it. So we're going to hear some of it. Ash, are you embarrassed to hear this back?
No. It's all good PR.
Here we
Play
go.
it, mate. Play it.
Take it away.
Ash, hi, it's Sally Prescott here from the Daily Mail. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you, Sally. How are you?
Sweet. Should we talk turkey?
Yeah, this is him talking about his relationship with you guys.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, great. I still speak to Ed every day. We've got various podcasts together.
true.
I speak to Husey probably, I don't know. We've got a great relationship, and it's pretty rare that you can say that about people who you've worked with 10 years on.
that's true. That's true. I appreciate that.
It's just full of trust, this relationship, isn't it?
It might not like this one, a mention of you in this one, Husey.
Like 10 years ago, it was harder to convince Ed. Ed
Right.
wouldn't do it. The irony is, we know he did Dancing with the Stars this year, and he can move incredibly well.
Appreciate that.
Husey's disturbing.
Yeah.
I'm happy to stand by that.
You said to a Daily Mail reporter who you didn't know was a Hit network employee that I was disturbing. Is that what you said to her, Ash? You stand by that still?
Yeah, have you seen the video?
What about the? He's polite. What about how he's so good at getting people on side, Ash? Have a listen to how polite he is. How much he's loving Sally's a tough line of questioning.
I am, Danny. Thanks for asking, Sally. That is such a great question, Sally.
Do you really? Did you actually
You're
genuinely
flirting.
think that she was a great interviewer, Ash?
I really did. I think whoever it was, she should work for the Daily Mail. Like that was a Daily Mail interview. I've done many of them, and there were some great questions.
Okay,
I'm
here we
still
go.
bummed that it's not real.
No, it'll go out. Don't worry, we'll push
Most
this out.
likely
Here we
we'll
go.
get more publicity.
Speaking of dating, we've actually interrupted you. You're on a date right now, aren't you?
Yes, mate.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll
mate,
let you get
this
back
is
to
good
it.
though. You're on a national
Exactly.
radio show. Hughesy and Ed, it's Hit Network,
Yeah.
available all over this
Yeah.
great brown land, or Greenland. There's a lot of rain. So,
And I tell you what, he's got some wonderful thoughts. If she's listening, she'll love to hear this about herself with Corona dating.
We've been pretty good, but I found like with Corona, with dating, it's kind of like a game of musical chairs, and then the music stops, and whoever you're with, you've just got to stay with them during Corona. So the music stopped on someone, and I'm just dealing with it.
terrible thing to say about whoever you're with at the moment. You just grabbed the only
Hughesy,
chair available and sat on it, did you?
No, look, honestly, that was taken out of context.
No, it wasn't. We heard the context.
Misquoted, man. He's been misquoted.
Got the audio,
All
mate.
right,
We were secretly recording
Let's
it.
finish it off.
Yeah,
What's the offer, man? Something for him. Throw
What's
in.
the offer? No,
Come on.
mate. You know what?
I know we got
he
the
needs to
video.
learn a lesson.
No.
He needs to learn a lesson.
No.
We will give him the 250 he thought he was getting.
What do you reckon? 250.
That's fantastic.
All right.
Yeah.
And if this doesn't make an article, if this doesn't get in the Daily Mail, we'll up it to 450. But if it does get in the Daily Mail, it's 250. You happy?
Oh, mate, that's win-win. You're a great guy, Hughesy. I love you, radio
I'm
show.
a great.
So look, I want to give it up for Hughesy and Ed. That's a world-class stitch-up. Their producer, Sasha, you caught me out of my crease in a big way. You know, there was no need for the third umpire in that one. I put the bat under the armpit and walked off. But guess what? I'm walking off with $450 because the Daily Mail didn't actually run the story. So Hughesy's already transferred that money. So it's a win, I guess, for me. Yeah, win-wins are for losers. You want a win. We got Patreon scoop. We got the 450, and we also did some radio on Hughesy and Ed. Okay, let's get some calls. By the way, if you still want to see the single ladies dancing video, you know that's Patreon. Yeah, patreon.com/Ash Williams Show. Check out the full single ladies dance clip. It's all there. And we have a whole lot coming up, of course, on Patreon. Now, one of those things is telling people who the two celebrities in the bushes were at Splendour in the Grass. And then we'll get on with the show. We've got a big show. Of course, we're going to call Paul. Paul is up and about. He's a filthy bastard, Paul. And I love his work. Now let's call Trev the truckie from Toongabbie.
How the fuck are ya?
Here he is.
Legend.
In the bushes at Splendour in the Grass are.
Seriously? Fuck, I would not have picked either of them.
Nah, it's a good one, though. Thanks
Sweet
again
as
for your
brother.
support, man. I really appreciate it. And thanks for the texts.
Always, mate. You're cracking me up. As I said, in these weird days we live in, mate, it's my little bit of relief from the madness.
Oh, thanks, Trev. And I got your text, too, on the hotline. You said, what's going on with Metho? Now, Metho, if people haven't listened to that episode, it's an Ash and Ed episode. Metho was a girl I was seeing during COVID-19. And, yeah, she's been relegated, Trev.
Yes, mate. You were flying close to the sun with that one.
Oh, no, I was. I think I touched the sun.
No, I think you did.
Yeah.
Lightly scorched.
The dark, the dark
Just slightly.
sun. Yeah. All right, brother. Love your work.
Thanks, Ash.
Dun. Now we've got to get into the pod. One quick thing off the pads here. I was at the supermarket and there was a massive line for the register, but it was an ambiguous line because, you know, with the 1.5 distancing, it didn't really look like a line. But if you look closely, the line went for about 15 meters. So this guy walks up straight to the register like he's the first one there, puts his shit on the conveyor belt, just like Metho and fucking Scrubs. And I've yelled out, "Hey, buddy, there's a line." All right? Probably more friendly than that. "Hey, buddy, there's a line." And he's craned around back at me. He's wearing aviator dark sunglasses and camo army pants. Okay, we are in a fully lit supermarket. He walks up to me, looks at me, and says, "Keep your fucking gear on." Right? And I love that. So I quickly responded, "I've got my gear on. You keep your fucking gear on." Right? Right? It's 3 p.m. on like a Friday afternoon. There's mums and kids around. And then he walked away. And then I thought to myself, hang on, what gear is he talking about? Because he was definitely on the gear. That's not a joke. He was on the gear, I would say ice. If I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Eddie's like, what gear was he on? I'd lock in ice, please, Eddie. And could he have meant keep your gear on, as in keep your drugs firing? Or he meant keep your gear on. Anyway, I took a photo of him. I'll put it on our Patreon. All of those dodgy photos need to be behind a firewall. Check out this dude. Keep your fucking gear on. What a psycho. We have a message here from Kyle Smith. G'day, Ash. Loving the content, bro. Just a quick one regarding the Patreon. After Paul murders you, starts wearing your skin, and assumes your identity, do the Patreon funds go to him? And will he continue doing the podcast in place of you? I'll miss you, mate, but I just want to ensure we're getting value for money once Paul is in charge. Keep making noise and stay fired up. Kyle. I love it. It wouldn't be great if he did kill me, but I would love it if Paul continued the podcast and then the podcast became the biggest podcast in the world. And Paul dressed up as me to do the podcast. And Paul thought he was me. That would be cool. In a weird way, I would like that. I would actually be like, look what I created. Who was that? It's like Hand That Rocks the Cradle, or people who think they're actually that person. Yeah. I remember I used to catch a tram with a woman who thought she was Marilyn Monroe. This woman was famous in Camberwell, Victoria. She wasn't the full quid. If you did a quid check, you're not going to find many quids there. But she genuinely thought she was Marilyn, and she caught the tram. And often she would be sitting in a sheer shirt. That's a see-through shirt, no bra. That's what Marilyn did. And I remember that was the first pair of boobs I ever saw apart from my mum's. And it was awesome. I remember standing on that tram, and I think I might have barred up because they were pretty good. And everyone on the tram was loving it. We were full to pussy's bow with school kids, and we were all like, check out Marilyn today. And then I went home and I told Mum, and I said, Mum, I saw Marilyn's boobs on the tram. And she goes, oh yeah, was she wearing that top? So Mum had seen them before too. So I want to give a big shout out to Marilyn. Okay, if you know who I'm talking about, Marilyn Monroe in Camberwell, who catches the tram, call the pod. I want to see where she's at. I want to see what she's wearing. 0406 284 954. Okay? Let's get another text. This is from Rob Lobster. I don't think Paul is real. I think it's a stitch-up. There's some voice modulation going on, trying to hide his real identity. Now, to that I respond with, great pickup, Rob Lobster. There is voice modulation going on, but guess who's doing it? I'm doing it with my team. I have a very small team at the Ash Williams Show here at the moment, and we are distorting Paul's voice to maintain his anonymity, okay? Because I feel like we might be sued any moment It'll be us getting sued with the Ruby Princess. Ruby Princess goes in, and the next case, Ash Williams versus Paul. Speaking of Paul, let's give him a call. He's been texting me during the week. This is what he's texted me. Mate, I'm a virgin. Is that okay? I responded, you're a virgin? Paul writes, is that okay? I write, all good. Paul writes, just make sure you bring up condoms. I don't know what condoms has got to do with me taking his virginity. I would think that no condoms would be a little easier, just in terms of friction. Obviously, I'd use lube. Then I've got another text. There's so many texts, by the way. This is again from Paul. Morning, babe. Love you. You'll have till stage 3 to come and see me. That's in July. And you know what? That makes me think that all of a sudden stage 3 isn't looking too good. I want to stay in stage 1, stage 2, because once stage 3 comes, I'm going to see Paul in a hotel. And then he messaged me and said, do you want to be my long-distance boyfriend? I think I do. I think I want this. So let's I need a girlfriend. I probably need to get a girlfriend. I think this is going too far. All right, let's call Paul. #31 #. Nothing there for Paul. We know it takes at least 2 calls. We'll try Paul again. In the meantime, let's get some texts and voicemails. Here we go. G'day, Ash. Just wanted to shout out the bus driver on the P137 in Brisbane. I forgot my Go card and the legend just let me on. No cash needed. Absolute legend. Keep up the great content. P.S. If you keep up the episodes, I will become a Patreon. But you know what that is? Shout That's a free shout out for the bus driver on the P137 in Brisbane. Beautiful work. And we welcome you to Patreon. No Go card needed. Let's get another texter. I want to start a podcast. Any tips? It's a pretty ambiguous question. Well, I'm actually helping someone on Patreon at the moment work on their podcast. So I'm happy to help you on Patreon. Otherwise, we have an ad playing on our podcast at the moment from Podcast Solutions. They've reached out to me to become an ambassador and help people launch podcasts. But so either go to my Patreon or go to podcastsolutions.com.au. Boom, 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 another text. This is from Steve. Actually, this is an old text. So remember Steve messaged 2 or 3 weeks ago saying, any chance we can get some inside scoop about gladiators? All right, and I promised Steve this, and I have some gladiator scoop. Now, I can't reveal my source on this one, but it involves Anthony Koutafidis, a.k.a. Kuda, and what they wanted to do on that series of gladiators was do makeup on Kuda before every show and make it look like he was made of marble, like a statue, like a Greek statue. But Kuda said no, because then he would have to do 3 hours of makeup before every show. There's your scoop. I know it's not much, but it's good to know. I think he should have done it. He could have been one of Michelangelo's sculptures. You know, he would look like a fucking marble statue going on the rings like a Greek god. Another text. Greetings, Mr. Williams. I have an idea to pitch you that ties in with your Tens and Dudes business model. If the customer wants to double their fun, after their fellatio experience, they can move to an adjacent bar that's within the building and play a game I like to call Hollywood or Homeless. The idea is that the customer would scull a cumtini, and just as the last drop of cumtini passes their lips, the bartender would show them a picture of either a Hollywood actor or a homeless person that the cum in their drink came from. Let me know what you think. Kind regards, Mitch, not Mitch the imposter. P.S. I'm loving the new Ash and Ed gear. Stay fucking safe, mate. Yeah, I can greenlight that straight away. That's a great idea. Hollywood or Homeless. That's actually got legs for so many different purposes. Hollywood or Homeless. Funnily enough, they're closer to each other than you think. Most Hollywood stars have been homeless at one point or another. Dude, I love that. Yeah, I love it. Can you get women though, Mitch? I want to know if you can get women. Because what about if I was just with a 10 at Tens and Dudes and I want to just revel in my evening, but I want to come teeny, but I want it to be from a lady. So can we do ladies come teenies? Because I think that would be nice. You're having the night of your life. You've just had a fellatio from Miley Cyrus. No. And then you want to just again, keep the experience going. You sidle up to the bar. One cum teeny, please. Just as you're finishing your last drop, bartender shows you a picture of Cher. I love it. I love it. It's a Cher cum teeny. It's cool. Let's workshop that. We need to finish up the pod. We need to call Paul, of course. We've got a couple of voicemails here.
Ashley, woohoo! It's Goldie Guy. Yo, bro. Two problems for you. One, anyone who wants some work on the Gold Coast, if you're not an idiot, and there's not many of them on the Goldie, to be honest. Yes, there's a chance for you. And my chili plant on the balcony is going bananas. I'm producing more chilies than... I've got chilies coming out of insert something there. And I'm thinking chili chutney. I've been talking to my mum about it. What do I do with all these chilies? I've got bags of chilies in the freezer. Any ideas? Anything would be appreciated. Have fun, everyone.
Does Goldie Guy know that he's called the podcast? Is he okay? I know it's been a while since Goldie Guy's called us. That was a concerning voicemail. That was right up there with Chris from Canberra voicemails. Made no sense. No references to the pod. He's offered someone work or someone's work in the Gold Coast. If you would like that work, reach out to the Ash Williams Show. And he's growing a chili plant. So thanks for the voicey, Goldie Guy. Let's get another one.
Ashley, Eddie, mate. Loving the Patreon content. I'm having to take days off work to get through it all, but currently sifting through all the old Ash and Ed shows. With Kathy, the flipper, you mentioned she's going to wait another 4 years for a reply from you. Just letting you know, it is now 2020, so you may have addressed this already. I'm still catching up, but she's due for a reply. Cheers, mate.
I love that. Now, it's a tough reference to an old Ash and Ed storyline. Kathy was a woman, probably a man, who is obsessed with feet. And I used to message Kathy most days. And then one day she stopped messaging back. I should also say that it took me 3 years to respond to Kathy's messages. Very similar to our friend Carol and in some ways our friend Paul. So look, there's a few parallels there with Kathy, Carol and Paul. Thank you for the voicey, Ned. Thank you for your patronage. Without further ado, let's wrap the pot up. Let's call the main man in my life, Paul.
Hello. Hello.
Hey.
How you going?
Yeah, good, mate. I thought that was a voicemail.
No, me. I had the phone ready.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's
How'd you
going
be?
on?
Oh, same shit. How about you?
Yeah, sitting bored.
Sitting doing nothing again? Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those days. No.
Yeah.
How did the pub? How's it going down there, actually? Any change?
Mate, it's a bit wet.
Wet is raining.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain up here later, but it's cool and windy at the moment, so yeah.
Don't mind a cool wind.
Do you? Oh, I hate it. I like to be nice. Like to be nice and warm.
Yeah, it's a good call. It wouldn't take
Yeah.
you long to warm up, though. 43 kilos. You'd be snug as a bug.
Yeah, if I was, but yeah, I probably will warm if I was fatter, but no.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Now, mate, I can't talk too long, but I wanted to talk about a couple of, because it's always good to talk.
Yeah, it's all right.
I got, I don't care either way, but I got your message saying you're a virgin.
Yeah, that doesn't matter, eh?
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
It surprises me, though.
Why is that?
I don't know. I thought you'd, with all due respect, been around a bit.
No, not really.
Oh, no, that's fair. That's fair. And so with the virginity, why did you say, do you need condoms?
Oh, what? Yeah, I don't have any problem.
I say either or.
Yeah, whatever.
No dramas.
It doesn't matter.
See what happens?
If they're close to say, yeah.
And I got your message. You said you'll have till stage 3 to come up and see me. That's July.
Yeah,
So-
2 or 3. It depends. Yeah, it depends how quickly they want to open the borders, doesn't it? Really?
So in theory, I'm not saying I want to do this. Could come to the hotel stage 2 or stage 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see what happens, I suppose.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll probably be July anyway or something.
July. Do you know what hotel? Are there any good ones near you?
No, there's a few. There's one in the main street. There's a couple in the main street, but my next door neighbours, she used to work there, but now she doesn't. But somebody else owns that one, but so I wouldn't go there.
No.
Probably the next one further up. Yeah, that's all right. I'll find what name it is and I'll let you know.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, cool. Obviously, you want to abide by the stages. If we're going to run this stuff by Gladys Berejiklian and Daniel Andrews, and if they're cool, then we can look at it.
Yeah, go from there and see what happens from there.
Yeah.
All right, then.
All right, mate.
I'll let you go and I'll talk to you again.
No worries. All right, bro.
All right. Yeah. Bye.
That's it.
Bye.
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 All right. I think we're going to stop doing this. I really do. I think we are, as Trev, the truckie, said, we are actually touching the sun now with Paul, and maybe it's gone too far. I feel like this is going to be a court case. So we will just maybe tread water for a bit. Of course, if we do get 200 Patreons, I will go and meet Paul. That is not a joke. I will go and meet Paul in the hotel. Okay, that is my oath to you. Okay? We, of course, will rig up the room with cameras, mics, the works. Okay? I will do anything for this podcast. I ask you, will other podcasts be willing to risk their lives for content? I think not. That is the podcast. Of course, patreon.com/Ash Williams Show for any bonus pics, videos. You've got the old Ash and Ed, the new Ash and Ed, a brand new episode with comedian Dilruk J.S. Singer dropping in a couple of days. It's all there. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for commenting. I'm pretty fired up. This is the Ash Williams Show. I'll talk to you in a few days. Take care. Bye-bye. The Ash Williams Show is recorded in front of a live studio audience. But due to coronavirus, there is no audience, so you can't hear the laughs.